scratch and sniff. Let's step into the on deck circle.
You're listening to the DFS On Deck podcast, brought to you by LineStar App, the top-rated DFS tool set and #1 companion for DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo Daily Fantasy. Go LineStar Premium now at LineStarApp.com. Now, here are your hosts, fantasy baseball experts Joe Pisapia and KC Bubba.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and welcome to On Deck right here on the LineStar app. It is me, it's Casey Bubba, and it's you. And that's right, it's Saturday morning, baby. And we're here. It's the weekend edition, baby. And a fun night in Major League Baseball for the most part. Of course, if you weren't getting scratched, because everybody got scratched yesterday, Bubba. Lots of scratching all over the place. And the Nationals also scratching their heads, wondering, oh my goodness, did we just give Steven Strasburg all that money and he's back to his old tricks again? Oh, but Bubba, at least Sonny Gray was everything we wanted him to be. At least at the end of the day, we can all look at that.
Yes, we all have something to lean on, and that was Sonny Gray was absolutely amazing, as we expected. A few other things happened very, very well for us. A handful of other things were just kind of left us scratching our head, like you said. So it was quite an interesting Friday night, to say the least. A slate I was very excited about going into it. And then it just got closer and closer. It's just like, this is why Joe and I say we can't do anything in advance more than one day. This is why.
No, oh God, no. This, please, you said it best. This is Bubba's quote, but I'm going to say it here. The 2020 season is one giant small sample size. That's it. That's all. That's all it is. We're just trying to figure it out day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. And of course, the young kid goes into Colorado, make his first start. He was good, and Lance Lynn was even better. So that was a 3-2
game. Wow.
I know, a complete game from Lance Lynn in Colorado. I mean, crazy. I mean, it's crazy and it's not crazy. Lance Lynn just still continues, doesn't get enough credit. But you know what? In all fairness, I don't think anybody was really looking at that except like throwing a dart on the Lance Lynn thing from an ownership standpoint, because it wasn't cheap either. That's the whole thing about it. But let's fly around the rest of yesterday. We did not get our home run. Spoiler alert. From Joey Gallo, he let us down. But Steven Strasburg let everybody down. He came out there, threw a couple pitches, like, nah, bro, I'm not going to do it. And the Orioles win again. The Orioles are above 500, just FYI. in case you're wondering, kids.
2020, folks.
2020, the Orioles above 500. The Tampa Bay Rays fell to the Blue Jays 12-2. Buffalo looks like it's going to be the new Coors. Can I just point that out there? Teoscar Hernandez. 2 of 6 home runs. Bo Bichette is on fire. We need to get all the Blue Jays we can handle today. Like whatever we're doing. Of course, the other game of that doubleheader, the Nationals beat up on the Orioles 15-3 in that one. The Yankees and Red Sox. Guess what? Gleyber Torres had 4 hits. Remember yesterday when we kept saying? Remember the day before that all week? You just keep pounding on that 2.7 on FanDuel and Gleyber Torres. Don't worry. Eventually, it's going to spring a leak of points. And guess what? It did. 4 for 4 for him. Garrett Cole was nasty, as we all figured. That's his 20th straight regular season win, by the way, for Garrett Cole. How about that, bub?
That's absolutely amazing stuff for him.
Yeah. Bryce Harper, RBI 9th, lifts the Phillies past the Mets to 6-5 on that one. DeGrom scratched from that start because of a stiff neck. This is why we can't have nice things, Met fans. This is it. And Bubba, besides Sonny Gray, I want to throw some praise over here on my boy Casey Bubba, because Winker, home run, not twice. Not once, but twice. I mean,
yes.
Woo, look at him.
Big fan of that one. Yeah, problem is the Reds aren't playing today because they had a COVID test last night. So, yeah.
So that happened.
Yep.
So
there'll be more news on that today after you listen to the show, I promise. That's going to come out.
Yeah, look, it's early in the morning. I literally just had my coffee. You just have to pay attention to the news, okay, folks? Like, just pay attention to it. We'll do our best. So that game is officially canceled for today, which means no Pirates, no Reds. Correct? I'm here.
Yes, that game's canceled. I'd be shocked if they play the rest of the weekend. Like the news dropped at 9:45 my time, so 12:45 your time last night. So I'm pretty sure they're going to wake up and start deciphering things.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, too. I mean, when we talk about NFL and things like that, and we're going to be starting the NFL version of the show pretty soon in a couple weeks here. When you have games every day, this is what's so hard about baseball. People say, oh, well, the interaction of football, they're on top of each other. I'm like, yes, they are. But it's one 3-hour span. It's once a week. The in and out of baseball, the constant around each other of baseball, the travel of baseball, the amount of games, I think, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I just felt like baseball is going to be the hardest sport by far to play because of the nature of it. The amount of players plus the amount of games. Yes, the NFL has more people around it, but they have a whole week to figure things out if there's a positive test, Aaron Savali got the win. He wasn't dominant though, but Franmil Reyes did hit a home run, 10-5 over the Tigers there. The Marlins continue to just win games. Braves starting to, show their we said it was going to come around sooner or later, and it's really starting to show right now. They need to get healthy in the worst way. Aguilar continues to be good though. Christian Yelich, 3-run dinger for him. 4-3 win over the Cubbies there. So good to see Christian Yelich heating up. We already talked about Lance Lynn's complete game. Diamondbacks beat up on the Padres. So the Padres having a tough run here. Luckily, we were not on Lamet. You know what? We probably should have been more on Framber Valdez, though, just because of the matchup against the Mariners. I think that's the thing. It's, even if we don't like a pitcher, we have to be realistic. But you know what? Yesterday, if memory serves, his DK price wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. It was priced up there with Frankie Montas. That's why we weren't on him.
Right.
Frankie
Montas
what are we got doing? Scratched.
Yeah. Why did he get scratched, by the way? What's his problem?
He had a back issue.
Oh, my God. I got back issues. I know you see me on the podcast every day.
Exactly. I'm in my chair with my lumbar support every morning.
I got my lumbar support. That's how you know Bubba and I are old. We've got the lumbar support thing right there. Oh, my goodness. All right. Before it gets past our bedtime, let's look at today's slate here. Okay. So you got 1 o'clock games. You got 3 o'clock games. You got the 4 o'clock games. And then, of course, you got your late slate. So, Bubba, before we go too far into this, what's your initial approach here? When you see the games that are out here, that you see the ones in the daytime, are you fading the daytime altogether, or are you going to and just go right to the night, or are you going to try to dabble here in both?
Well, DraftKings will have to stick to the night 7-game main slate there. But with FanDuel, it's kind of fun because there's 3 good pitchers on the early slate. We have Toronto, like we just talked about. There's a couple really good offensive spots. I think the early slate on FanDuel is kind of fun where you can get a little different and still have a really solid lineup. When we talk about the night slate, especially Montas is questionable. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't pitch again tonight. If he doesn't pitch, there's really not a lot of great pitching tonight. Lots of bats. So the early slate's kind of more fun on FanDuel. I like to play, so I'll probably dabble a little in both. But I prefer the early slate on FanDuel if I had to pick one slate at all.
I would say, just straight out of the gate here, Barrios and Cash against the Royals and Hauser in tournaments against the Cubs, especially with Yelich starting to heat up a little bit. That would be my general approach to the afternoon slate on FanDuel. Do you agree with that one?
Yeah, that would be very, very correct. And just be careful. The only thing I will say with the Minnesota games is they're a doubleheader. So I don't know I'm assuming it's game 1 on the slate, but I'm not sure. So keep an eye on that stuff when that all news comes out.
Oh God, it's really frustrating. It's going to get worse because the Cardinals are going to come back and play 12 doubleheaders a day.
Yeah, they're playing. Their news came out. They're playing about 51 games in like 40 days or something.
I saw
it's going to be absolutely insanity.
Paul Sporer had a tweet about that too. It was very funny. Paul said the Cardinals will be playing 17 1-inning games over the next 17 days.
It's ridiculous. But you got to give baseball this if you want. Here's a little tongue in cheek for the day. You got to give baseball credit. They're doing everything in their power to get all 60 games of TV in. They're doing everything. They're care.
Trying to get paid, man.
When they talk player safety, just don't ever listen again.
No, this is about just trying to can we get paid? Oh, we have to drop a couple teams. Okay, all right, that's fine. How many doubleheaders? That's fine. You know what? I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys just play
7 innings? Sure, 7 innings.
Yeah, just plug in your MLB The Show. You play a couple games here. We'll use that for the tournament. I mean, it's like a simulation. It's the same thing. It'll be fine. We're getting closer and closer to that. All right, let's start off here with the Phillies. If you're gonna do the all day here, the 6 o'clock, you got the Phillies and the New York Mets here. Steven Matz against Aaron Nola. Nola's been terrific lately. 10.3 over on FanDuel for Nola. I don't see why you wouldn't go for this. I saw Cano came back, so I'm not really, that doesn't all of a sudden inject the Mets lineup with greatness or anything like that.
Yeah, he went deep yesterday. Watch out.
Yeah, I know, but it's not going to scare me off Aaron Nola. Is I guess the point I'm making.
I get you.
Aaron Nola's been spectacular. I mean, the walks are way down, the strikeouts are high. It's I think you just go here for this one. Alec Baum is a free square, by the way, 2.0 against the lefty Steven Matz. Pointing that out as well. And JT Realmuto is only 3.5. And considering the tear he's been on, Bubba, I think you got to really start thinking about this guy's so locked in. Sometimes, baseball is a game of streaks. We always say that on the program. And this is a streak right now you have to pay very close attention to because it's not like you're paying $4K for him. He's only 3.5. And I say only because dude's going yard, dude's making contact. Like, it's just crazy. He's got a good matchup against Steven Matz today. He's a lefty. So I actually would consider incorporating the all day because Nola is, $1,500 less than Shane Bieber, who we're going to talk about next. And I don't think necessarily that he can't match him in terms of productivity tonight.
No, you're 100% correct. I think Nola is a really solid player. There's another guy other than Bieber I kind of like on the slate also. So I'll talk about the difference between the two when we get there and get your opinion on that. And I love the Realmuto call because I usually don't pay for catchers on FanDuel, but I've used him in cash like every day this week because, like you said, he's just great. Solid for 13, 14 plus points every single night.
If it was 4-3, I would change my tune about it maybe. But
yeah, well, he DHs. He's not just a catcher all the time. So it's like we play a $3,500 first baseman. So what's the big deal? Like he's that good.
And right now in this lineup, outside of Harper, he's the guy. Like he's been the guy. All right, going to the next one, also on the all day at 610 is Shane Bieber at 11.8 against Spencer Turnbull. Now Turnbull's not a bad pitcher, but again, this is Bieber's been just so good. Franmil's hot right now. He's just 2.7 coming off a dinger yesterday. Tyler Naquin, free square, also another free square 2.0. So if you're looking for Nola or Bieber right in their own games, there's guys who are literally free. So Naquin is a guy who can put the ball in play. Alec Baum has some power. If they fail, they fail, but it allows you to go all the way up to Bieber or Nola and pay that price. Now, Bieber's an expensive one. It's 11.8. It ain't cheap. But is it where you'd go tonight, or would you fade him and save some money on the all day with Nola? I think that's a lot of money. Like if this was a $500 difference, it's different for me. But a $1,500 difference, I think I'm going to pass for Nola.
It's a massive difference, but what I'm going to compare it to is last year when Garrett Cole was on his run. I know this is really early.
No,
but
it's fair. Like. No, you're not.
It's just what he feels like. 10 plus Ks almost every night. He's doing everything right now.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and the matchup is very soft. There's no doubt about that. So
it's one of those, like, there was a point last year where you didn't even care what Cole's price was. You just put him in because you're getting like 60 plus points every night.
Yeah. Also looking at this, Carlos Santana hit from the left side of the plate tonight, 2.9. That's worth paying for. And Cesar Hernandez continues to be cheap at the top of this order, 2.8. It's another dude just filling the stat sheet every night. If I told you how many shares in season-long roto I drafted of Cesar Hernandez this year, I just didn't understand. I was like, why is everyone just letting this guy go for free? I don't understand.
They do it every year. It makes no sense to me. 1 year, he'll get respect. I just don't understand it.
It's crazy. I don't know. He probably never will. Like he's on a 1 year deal with the Indians. He'll go somewhere else, and then
that's true.
I'll end up drafting him somewhere else. All right, so let's take a look at the Blue Jays here against the Rays. Chase Anderson versus Ryan Yarbrough. Bo Bichette is just absolutely on fire right now. He's just 3.6K. I don't care how chalky it is. I just don't care. I want Bo Bichette in my lineup. Don't care what the ownership percentage is, roster percentage, whatever you want to call it nowadays. No, he's just in Buffalo right now. With the way that ball is flying out there, it just seems like a really good investment. Teoscar Hernandez also just 3.1. His hard hit rate is well over 50%. I understand he strikes out. I get that. But at the same time, I think you look for the upside. So Bichette in cash, if you want to save some money in some tournaments, Hernandez for less $400. That's the way I'm approaching this one, Bubba. What are you looking for here today?
Yeah, Bichette's a staple in cash. Like we just talked about Realmuto, very similar stuff here. Biggio, Hernandez, like that three-man's very strong. Brandon Lau of Tampa Bay is 3.7, but he is absolutely on fire right now. So this is one of those games. We talked about Spencer Turnbull a second ago. Like in your GPPs, if you want to roll Turnbull out there at 88 and then stack this game, you could have some fireworks that could be very, very fun for you, assuming Turnbull doesn't get shelled. Like that's a GPP angle I would look at today.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, let's continue on with the rest of these games here. Nate Eovaldi against James Paxton. Paxton very good in his last outing. The Red Sox are just dreadful right now. It's tough. It's kind of tough as a baseball fan to watch the Red Sox be bad. I understand Yankee fans are enjoying this, but as a baseball fan, I'm not. I like when Yankees Red Sox is a thing. It just doesn't feel like a thing right now. It hasn't felt like a thing for quite some time. Guess what? Gleyber Torres is just 2.7 still on FanDuel. How about that? Bubba?
Look at us.
Gio Urshela 3.0 hitting in the cleanup spot because guess what? Aaron Judge is out of the lineup. Giancarlo Stanton's out of the lineup. And whenever those guys are out of the lineup, you know who steps up? Gleyber Torres every single damn time. I know Gary Sanchez at home run yesterday. I don't care. He's still dead to me. I'm not doing it. He's just killing me in this one league I got him in. Clint Frazier 2.5K. Another guy that offers some power. Look, Nate Eovaldi's on the mound tonight. He's one of the better Red Sox pitchers. But look, Paxton's been pretty good. If you want to get involved with Paxton at 8.1, I don't think it's a bad idea, Bubba. Do you?
No, I think there's an option there, especially on DraftKings at 8.1. The velocity was up last time. If that stays that way, he's a very good pitcher. And against this Red Sox offense that's struggling mightily, that's not a bad option at all at that price point.
Yeah, looking for some value on the DK side of things. Not much. Maybe
Not
Clint
much at all.
Frazier at 4. I mean, Mike Ford at 3.8. That's about it. LeMahieu's at
Ford,
5.2.
Ford and Talkman, that's about it.
It's not great. So this is the Yankee stack is much easier and much. Oh, although if you're going to pay down for pitching across, you can make it work. But Paxton and Torres and Urshela in the middle of this order here with Hicks even at 2.7. They're all 2.7 to 3K. That's a nice little cluster here. Get Paxton, get a couple of those Yankees against the Red Sox in the middle of that order. And if you don't like, you want to pay up a little bit more, then get LeMahieu at the top of it at 3.9. That's, LeMahieu is always a productive player. There's no doubt about that. Now, if Montas is back tonight, go right back at it. Okay, so you can listen to yesterday's show on demand, wherever you get your podcast. If he's 8.8 and he's back there, just go do it and just get involved with it and just don't overthink it. They're going to have Kevin Gossman on the mound tonight for the San Francisco Giants here. So are you using some of the A's bats here in this one?
Oh, yeah. And I just want to mention DraftKings has Mingden, FanDuel has Montas. So everyone pay attention to that, please.
Yeah, but, it's like 8:30 in the morning here. It's like 5:30 in the morning Bubba's time that we're recording this. So just, we're doing the best we can it's not usually this hard. Last 2 years I've done this show. It's been pretty easy. We used to do a whole weekend show on Friday looking forward to Saturday and Sunday. It was so easy to do. I can't do that anymore. It's literally day to day.
One thing I will mention, people will sleep on this game because there's Coors and other really good offensive spots because there's bad pitching later on. It's going to be close to 100 degrees in San Francisco. And it's a 4 o'clock home start Pacific time. It's going to be that ball's going to fly out of that ballpark. It already is this year compared to normal. So your A's are going to be huge. If Mingden starts, like Yastrzemski and stuff, they're going to be priced up, no doubt. But this is one of those games that no one's going to play like they should play it. So I want to mention that.
I'll tell you what. If that's the case, then Olsen and Chapman at 3.6 and 3.7 respectively is cake. Hey, look, maybe it's we keep talking about the difference in Marcus Semien. Look, DK is 5.1 on FanDuel. He's just 2.8. So
and keep using Robbie Grossman at 2.5. Like he's a cash game play for me every single night.
Yeah, he's been solid. There's no doubt about that. But look, if what Bubba's saying is true, and I believe it to be, then you get in on those A's today. You get in that. Does that scare you at all about Montas too with the weather? Actually, I would imagine the weather. If it is a back issue, then the heat actually is probably the best thing for him going out there. The
best thing for him. It should help.
Not like a cold night somewhere,
Exactly. It should help quite a bit. If he's good to go, I trust him because he's that good. But just beware. That ball's going to fly today way more than people expect in San Francisco.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's go on to the next one here. Pittsburgh Pirates, Stephen Brault against Trevor Bauer, who's been terrific, but holy hat, 12K for Trevor Bauer. 10.8 over on DK, much friendlier there. On DK, I love this. Like, this is lock it up on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I'm struggling here. I'm struggling with that price and Trevor Bauer, but it is the Pirates. I just don't like pitchers at 12K. Like, that's just me. Like, once you cross over 11, you've got to be in that, like, the Bieber territory today of how good the matchup is and everything. Like, that all has to square up. It squares up here for Trevor Bauer, but there's always that Trevor Bauer factor for me, and 12 is too rich for my blood. I'm probably wrong, but I'm just going to stay away from it, Bubba. Is it too rich for yours? Again, not on DK. DK, it's great. FanDuel, I don't love it as much, especially the one pitcher, because then, if he doesn't have a return on that 12K, which is a lot, like, you really got to be outstanding here. It could set you back a little bit.
Yeah, DK, completely fine. FanDuel, you save $200, play Shane Bieber. That simple. Just play Shane Bieber over Trevor Bauer. I'll take that all day long. So 12K is nuts.
But you have to go to the all day. Well, wait. See, now I've got this game starting at 7:10. This is crazy. This is like this is like Major League Baseball on meth. What time do you have this game starting here?
It's a 6:10 start time, so it's on the early slate on FanDuel.
All right. Well, and if you got to play the all day, see, now I've got it as a 7:10 start here. I'm on the site I'm looking at.
Wild times.
All right, I'm switching from coffee to wild turkey right now. That's where we're going. Anything else here for the Reds that you want to pile in here against Stephen Brault? Are we going to continue to pound on this Suarez door at 2.9?
Yeah, Eugenio Suarez versus a lefty is always a prime spot. Nick Castellanos, Suarez at 2,900. Like, Casty's expensive on FanDuel, but Suarez at 29 on FanDuel is Very, very tasty. But we have to assume this game plays, and I don't think it's going to.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So that's even more to the point too. I mean, I know we just talked about it if it does, but probably not going to be a thing anyway. Just keep in mind. So then it takes it off the board. You don't even have to worry about it. Everything's okay. Nick Marjavakis against Christian Javier. So Javier is one good, one bad start. We'll see what this one brings. But guess what? Got Jordan Alvarez back. Yay!
Yes.
Yay! And he's only 3.5. Hooray!
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's a lefty-lefty matchup. I don't care. This guy just hits. So don't look now. But if they could just get enough pitching, and they can acquire somebody in the next week or two, the Astros are going to be right back in it. They're going to get healthy here this weekend against the Mariners. So I am going to, if all the stacks, like this is the one, and I'm going to try to take the thing from yesterday's Framber Valdez start and kind of bring it over to here. At 7.8, Christian Javier is a better risk. Like I'm okay with that risk there. He's just 7.4. I do think he's got a path to a win tonight. It's going to be dicey, but I think against the Mariners, there's enough strikeouts here potentially to make it worth my while. Evan White can't hit the baseball at all. As good as Kyle Lewis is, he's got some strikeouts in there. So does this lineup, Vogelback, guys like that. So I think it's safe for him as a secondary pitcher, as a GPP. I think it's good enough. I think he's going to get a lot of run support tonight, Bubba. What's your take on the Astros here?
Yep, 100% agree. Stack against Marjavicius with the righties here. And then, don't ignore Alvarez. Like you said, he took a lefty deep last night in his first at-bat. Yeah, so don't worry about that at all. And I like Javier for salary savings because you mentioned the Mariners. They started out hot. They're ice cold at the plate right now. Lots of strikeouts. They might run into one from time to time, but they're not going to torture you more often than not. So Javier at that price point with the win equity you talked about, very strong stuff.
Now, when we're talking about all things coming together too, last night, obviously, another tough night for Atlanta, but Max Fried is their best pitcher. He's been their best pitcher all year. He will be their best pitcher all season. So for me, Max Fried and 9.2 in the single pitcher slate is a fine investment. 8.6, you're getting a discount on DK. I love this. They're going against the Marlins and Daniel Castano. And look, I understand the Marlins are playing good. I understand Aguilar's been excellent, but you know what? I'm just going to go with the Fried side of this game. I don't even necessarily love the Braves offense right now, to tell you the truth. Like it's really not that great. You're missing Acuna, you're missing Albies, you're missing those kind of guys. So I'm just going to go Max Fried naked here. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm with you. And this is the question I have because I'm guessing Fantasy Labs has them at 7-10 for you as well. But they're 6-10 start. So they're on the earlier slate on FanDuel. I was going to compare him to Nola, who's like $1,000 more. I think I'd rather go Max Fried.
I would too, but again, this is the funny part. Like you're looking at the times of these games, and you know what? The funny part is that some of the DFS sites haven't been right about the times.
They've been all over the board. Yeah.
So, I don't know who to trust anymore.
Well, last night, okay.
What MLB.com say? I think that's what we've got.
Here's a diatribe for people. The people played FanDuel last night. The lock was originally at 7. Then the Nationals moved their game up because they finished their earlier game to 6:30. So FanDuel moved the lock up and just left the note on their site saying, "Hey, we're locking a half hour early."
Yeah, it's madness. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. All right, let's go here to Washington Nationals. Patrick Corbin's healthy. 10.6, always a good investment. I mean, I'm always perfectly fine with throwing Patrick Corbin. He's 10.5 on DK, so it's doable on both sites here. I know that they've been brilliant. I understand that the Orioles have been fun. Nunez, Ruiz, all these guys. It's been a good ride. Yay! It's Patrick Corbin. Sorry, it's Patrick Corbin and Juan Soto, and it's a get right game here for the Nats, in my opinion. What are your thoughts about this?
Yep, Corbin's the pitcher for the night slate. He's the guy to target. I will say if you're one of those people that play GPPs and want to be contrarian, stacking Baltimore is the way to go, just like stacking Pittsburgh the other night against Steve Sclafani, because everyone's going to own Corbin. So we know they can't hit lefties, but Corbin's a little different. So I will be using Corbin. I will take the chalk with that. And, the Nats should have a big night against Wojciechowski. That should be just what they need. So get your usual suspects, as you mentioned. Get like your Asdrubal Cabreras for cheap, especially on DraftKings, and enjoy a Washington pounding of Baltimore.
Yeah, I would too. Man, I'd love for Victor Robles to heat up. Like, that'd be great. Can we get that?
That'd be really nice.
Kyle Gibson, 6.8, goes into Colorado against German Marquez. You have any love for Marquez at 8.4 tonight? I mean, he's been pretty good, but, it's tempting. I got to say, like, they've priced it in a point where I'm kind of tempted by it. 8.3 on DK, less, I don't know. Maybe I'm just less inclined there. I just feel like when you have the two pitchers, you really just got to get everything right. on the single pitcher site where you have like that one GPP dart throw and you could save some cash here. Like Marquez could have a big game against the Rangers. It's not a single entry one, but it's not impossible. It's probably just the crazy talk, but I don't know, Bubba. Is it that crazy after all? Rockies have been good.
I'm leaning there as well. He's pitched pretty well this year. He pitched well at home his first home start this year. There's not a lot of other options on this slate, so even on the two pitcher side, I kind of can see it as an option. And the Texas Rangers bats, as much as you want to love Coolers, we saw it last night, they haven't been as strong. Now it's Coolers, so anything can happen, but I'll take the discount on Marquez. Like if this was in Texas, he'd be like probably 10K, 9,800 something. So I'll take the discount on Marquez and use him in a GPP.
All right. Next one here, we got Arizona at home against Cal Quantrill and the San Diego Padres. Padres, hitting a little bit of a wall lately, so we'll see if they can get right here in this one. Ketel Marte is just 3.4 on FanDuel. Starling Marte is 3.5. That's the middle. That's the hot spot in that lineup right there. Cole Calhoun's been pretty good too at 2.8. So as long as he's hitting towards the top of that order, that 1-2-3 has been okay against Cal Quantrill. I would take a long, hard look at this one here. Anything else here from the Padres side that you want to look at, or from DraftKings?
The Padres side of it against Alex Young, the lefty, especially on FanDuel, you can get some discounts with Tommy Pham and Will Myers, and on both sites. Don't sleep on Mr. Ty France as your discount. He's 22 on FanDuel, and then he's very, very, very cheap on DraftKings at a whopping 30. Well, not very 37. He's actually gone up. Jesus Christ. 37. Still, that's cheap. That's cheap compared to normal. So maybe more of a FanDuel play, but France, a lot of right-handed power. So I think he's a nice value for you.
All right. And last but not least, Walker Bueller, 10.3 on DK. That's actually a pretty decent price for him against Andrew Heaney and the Angels. Look, you know how good Walker Bueller is. He is 9.6 on FanDuel. I almost had to do a double take on that one. He might be the best all-around guy on the board tonight. I mean, Fried's right up there too. Once again, depending on the time of the day that you want to get involved in this action. But Walker Bueller at 9.6 is probably, I would think, just the best investment all the way around. I understand Trout's been great, Rendon's been hot, but still, Walker Bueller is just that good. And the Dodgers are that good too. Like the Dodgers are really starting to feel like the team here this year for me anyway. Like they just go out there every night. They pull out some other kid from the farm system to go pitch. Like whatever they need, they seem to be able to have at any given moment. And same thing too, Justin Turner and AJ Pollock in the middle of that order, still 3.3, 2.9. Cody Bellinger at 3.9. I mean, it's Mookie Betts has been terrific this week. So I think Walker Bueller is just, he's a guy I like. We talked about, like, do you take the cash game lineup and you drop it in the tournament? I think with Walker Bueller, you can absolutely do that tonight, 9.6.
Yeah, and you enjoy this price while you can because they're still kind of discounting. He's not stretched out, but he went 90 pitches his last time, so he's pretty much stretched out.
I was gonna say he looked. Yeah, he was getting close last time. He's fine.
So I think they're giving him the discount, still thinking he's not, but he's pretty much there, barring something crazy happening. So enjoy that. Betts 3 homers a couple nights ago, Bellinger 2 last night. Their offense is heating up like crazy, like you said. So the Dodgers are gonna go on a run here. They're gonna anger me most evenings. But Bueller's a very, very strong play tonight, and a good pivot off of Corbin for sure.
All right, it's that time, boys and girls. It's time to call our shot. It's my turn first, and I'm going with Juan Soto. That's right. It's Juan Soto's night. He's going to go yard against Asher Wojciechowski, and it's going to be a good night for Juan Soto and for the Washington Nationals. Bubba, where are you going tonight to leave the yard?
We're going back to Cali. We're going Matt Olson. He's taking Kevin Gausman deep. He went deep last night. He's going deep again tonight.
I like that. Going back to Cali. Man, I don't think so. All right. Make
sure
that
half the listeners don't even know what we're saying.
No, I would say more than half. I would say right around like 60%. And if you don't get that reference, then you should, start to immerse yourself in old school hip hop a little bit more. Please, will you do it?
It's much better than the new stuff. Just trust me on that.
God, is it much better? But anyway, you can save our hip hop hot takes for later on. Yeah. In the meantime, if you retweet this segment, you can get a chance to win some free swag from LineStar. Go follow us at LineStar App, and of course, go to LineStar MLB on Twitter as well. And while you're at it, go to LineStarApp.com and download the LineStar app and upgrade to the premium product. I'm telling you guys, you need it. You need it this year with what's going on. And NFL is right around the corner too. We got NBA playoffs, so get all your daily stuff there. Get the optimizer. Get everything in there. I'm telling you, it is by far the most user-friendly tool site you will ever find for DFS. And I have seen them all. I have worked for more than one DFS company in my life. And I'm telling you, this is the best one. It's not even close. And it's easy to say because it's true for me. Also, make sure you subscribe to the podcast right here, anywhere that you listen to your pods, iHeart, iTunes, Google, Stitcher, wherever, we're there. And of course, we'll be back Monday. But if you subscribe, you know exactly every morning when the show drops, get your baseball on, get prepared to go out there and win. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Casey Bubba, I'm Joey P. There's nothing left to do now except step into the batter's box and go yard. We'll see you next time, kids.
You've been listening to the DFS On Deck podcast, brought to you by LineStar. Hit subscribe, tell a friend, and stay tuned for the next episode from fantasy baseball experts Joe Pisapia and Casey Bubba.